Welcome, cosmic divers, to another deep dive. Today we're turning our attention towards a really fascinating mystery. It's deeply woven into the fabric of the Centaur project.
Absolutely, and we're digging into it using the notes left behind in Karina's journal.
Right. All the insights today come straight from those pages. It helps us understand the layers, the complexity of this whole narrative you've been sharing with us. In our last deep dive, we actually journeyed to the fiery heart of Chile's Villarca volcano.
The place Karina was forged.
Exactly. And it's a location that's just steeped in mystery. And as the journal reveals, it's also, well, a home for these extraordinary beings we're focusing on today.
The Salamanders.
The Salamanders, yeah, often called the elusive goddesses of fire.
So our mission today is really to peel back the layers, try to understand the ancient secrets around these beings.
Based only on what's in the journal.
Just the journal. We'll look at their origins, their basic nature, and this is crucial, how they connect to the bigger story, the Centaur project itself.
Okay, let's jump right in then. The very first thing Karina's notes make clear about these salamanders. Well, their exact origins are shrouded in mystery. That's the phrase used.
Yeah, no single definitive answer there.
It seems like there isn't one clear birth certificate, so to speak, recorded in the material.
Precisely. The journal actually lays out several possibilities. They read almost like different historical accounts or legends that maybe Karina gathered or documented.
Right. It really underlines how ancient and, frankly, how enigmatic these creatures are supposed to be.
So one account takes us way back to the very beginnings of Earth.
Okay.
It paints this picture, of a young planet, a colossal volcanic activity everywhere, a chaotic atmosphere thick with heat and ash.
It sounds intense.
Very. And this theory suggests the first salamanders didn't, arrive from somewhere else. They emerged right here.
Ah, so native to Earth in this version.
Exactly. Small, resilient life forms forged in that intense primordial heat. They apparently thrived in those extreme conditions. So in this telling, they are fundamentally creatures of Earth's early fire.
Okay, that's one possibility. Earth-born fire beings. What else does the journal offer?
Well, then there's a narrative that stretches much, much further out, beyond Earth entirely.
Cosmic origins.
Potentially. Another possibility mentioned is that they traveled, unimaginable distances. Through the cosmos.
Yeah.
Get this. Aboard fiery meteors.
Wait, really? Meteors?
That's what the notes suggest. Think about the early solar system. Meteors were common. But these weren't just space rocks, apparently. This theory posits these meteors carried the salamanders,
Wow.
bringing them from other galaxies, or, and this is provocative, the notes say perhaps even beyond.
Beyond other galaxies, that's hard to grasp.
It is. So they arrive here, find Earth volcanoes, and see them as a refuge, a place they could adapt to, given their nature. It implies a celestial origin.
So beings deeply tied to Earth's fire might actually be like cosmic immigrants who hitched a ride on flaming space rocks.
It's definitely a mind-bending thought. And there's a third origin story in the journal, too.
Okay.
This one feels even more abstract, almost mythological. It talks about a legend concerning something called the Phantom Constellation.
Phantom Constellation, never heard of it.
Me neither. Described as maybe lost or hidden. And within this realm, there's supposedly a place called the Galaxy of Eternal Fire.
Sounds dramatic.
The description is intense. It's not some calm, stellar nursery. It's described as extreme cosmic violence, a system where massive suns collide. It creates this chaotic maelstrom of light and warped gravity.
Whoa. And the salamanders.
Here's where it gets really vivid. This legend claims the salamanders were born from this stellar turmoil.
Born from colliding suns.
Conceived, as the notes put it, in the incandescent womb of imprisoned stars. Their origin could be tied to this, cosmic catastrophe on a scale that's just hard to fathom.
So they might be embodiments of fundamental, maybe even violent, cosmic forces.
That's the implication of that particular legend, yes.
Okay, so we have Earth-born cosmic travelers on meteors, or born from stellar chaos. Maybe one is true, maybe they all hold some truth.
Or refer to different types, perhaps. The journal doesn't seem to pick one. But it does give details about their physical form and nature, regardless of origin.
Right. It says their sort of base shape resembles a reptile.
But a really critical detail is their ability to shapeshift.
Ah, okay. So not stuck in one form.
Not at all. They can apparently take on any appearance they need. Could be to hide, blend in, or maybe to interact with other beings in a specific way.
And the notes mention one specific form they take sometimes?
Yes, it highlights one striking image that apparently pops up in different accounts or cultures. They're sometimes seen as beautiful red-haired women, their flaming hair dancing in the wind.
Wow. That really connects back to the goddesses of fire idea, doesn't it?
It does. Adds this layer of, well, potent energy. Maybe even seductive energy, depending on the context.
And this shape-shifting ability, it says something fundamental about them.
Absolutely. The journal explicitly calls them mutant creatures. It states they are deeply, fundamentally tied to transformation itself.
So it's not just a trick they do, it's like core to their being.
Exactly. It's part of their identity.
And transformation often implies, well, change. Instability, maybe.
Which lines up perfectly with another key characteristic mentioned. They thrive in chaos and challenge.
Thrive in chaos.
That's where they feel most alive, according to the notes. It suggests they aren't creatures of peace and quiet, you know. They flourish in turbulence and difficult conditions.
Okay, that's interesting. So beings of fire and transformation who love chaos.
And this connection to dynamism, to instability, it's directly linked to another really fascinating trait documented in the journal.
What's that?
They are said to be able to manipulate our deepest desires.
Manipulate desires? How?
The notes specifically mention things like our craving for pleasure, seduction, and hidden power.
Whoa. So they're not just about physical fire and heat. They can tap into the internal heat of others, our passions, ambitions, hidden wants.
That seems to be the idea presented in the journal, yes. A significant power that goes way beyond just controlling flames.
That's a bit unsettling, actually.
It could be. And this connection to heat, it extends more broadly, too. They are intensely drawn to heat in all forms.
Physical heat, obviously, but what else?
Energetic heat, emotional heat, the vital heat of life itself. The notes say they actually gravitate toward hot people.
Hot people, meaning?
Individuals who radiate energy, you know.
Yeah.
Passion, charisma, maybe even just strong life force, high vitality.
Huh. Beings of fire drawn to the inner fire in others. It makes a weird kind of sense.
It does fit together.
Yeah.
But alongside these really powerful, almost overwhelming abilities, chaos, desire manipulation, shape-shifting the journal also describes an incredible power that seems almost contradictory.
Oh.
Regeneration.
Yeah.
Extreme healing. They are called healers by nature, possessing the ability to restore what has been destroyed and regenerate organic tissue with astonishing speed.
Astonishing speed, like Wolverine level stuff.
The description implies something very rapid and effective, yes. This power of restoration is one of the most remarkable things listed.
And I bet that's important for the Centaur project.
Its significance becomes very clear when we connect the dots later, absolutely. Beyond that, the notes also state they are highly intuitive and telepathic.
Okay, so add intuition and telepathy to the list. Shape-shifting, chaos-loving, desire-bending, super-healing, telepathic reptile things.
Who might have come from colliding stars.
Right, and yet, the journal notes another trait that's just surprising.
Which is?
They are inherently lazy.
Lazy. Seriously, with all that power.
Apparently, it says they are loath to rise in the early hours of the morning and are, by nature, nocturnal beings.
Huh. That's unexpected. It's one of those little details that makes them seem more complex than just, you know, pure elemental forces.
Yeah, what does it even mean for a being born of stellar fire to be lazy?
It raises questions, doesn't it, about how they operate, maybe how they're managed or interacted with. The notes do offer a clue about their energy, though.
How so?
It says they use heat to replenish themselves.
Ah, okay. Like recharging.
Exactly. Absorbing energy from the sun, warm stones, maybe even tapping into the Earth's core heat, especially during the hottest hours of the day.
So they need to sunbathe, basically.
Something like that.
Yeah.
The process is described almost reverently, like drinking sacred water.
Okay, so their energy isn't infinite. Needs specific recharging via heat.
Got it. Let's connect all this now, all these wild details.
Yeah.
How do they fit into the Centaur project, according to Karina's journal?
Right. Because they aren't just legends in this story. They're apparently active participants.
How active?
This is where the journal drops a critical piece of information. It states that the Syrians...
described as masters of cosmic science.
Correct. Those Syrians make frequent use of salamanders in their advanced experiments. Wow. Okay. So these ancient, mysterious beings, with all these powers, shape-shifting, chaos, desire, intuition, telepathy, regeneration, they're not just being studied. They're being used.
actively utilized by a highly advanced cosmic civilization.
Yes. For what purpose, specifically, does the journal say?
It gives one very specific reason. It notes the Syrians are harnessing their extraordinary powers of healing and regeneration.
Ah, there it is, the healing power.
That immediately gives us at least one concrete reason for their involvement. The Syrians are leveraging that ability to restore and heal, maybe on a scale we can't even imagine.
Okay, if we look at everything else the journal says about them, it can't just be about regeneration, can it?
That's a very good question.
The notes call them goddesses of fire, vessels of an ancient primordial force, one that transcends time and matter. Their involvement suggests the Centaur Project isn't just, I don't know, typical cosmic science with tech and data.
It seems to involve integrating these deep fundamental energies, life forms that might predate most of the known cosmos.
So this raises some big questions, doesn't it, based on the source material you've provided us?
It really does. Like, if the Syrians are masters of science, why use beings tied to chaos?
And beings who can supposedly manipulate desire, what's that about?
What does using creatures described as mutant and fundamentally linked to transformation imply about the goals of the project or the methods?
Is it only about physical healing? Or are those other traits, the chaos affinity, the desire manipulation, are those being controlled somehow, mitigated? Or maybe even used to?
The journal doesn't spell out those answers, but the implications are there.
Yeah, what really stands out to me is the potential unpredictability. If these beings thrive in chaos, does using them introduce chaos into the project itself?
A calculated risk, perhaps, or an unforeseen consequence.
And if they can manipulate desire, are there ethical considerations, unintended side effects, even for masters of cosmic science? The journal doesn't say, but just having beings like this involved in a high-level cosmic experiment, it's very suggestive.
And even that seemingly minor detail, their laziness and being nocturnal.
Right. What about that?
It might suggest limitations, right?
Yeah.
Challenges in using them. How do the Syrians manage beings with immense power, but also, very specific lifestyle preferences?
Do they need special habitats? Do they only work the night shift?
We don't get the how from the notes, but the detail itself is telling. It suggests they aren't just passive tools, they're complex entities, maybe even difficult to work with.
It really makes it seem like the Centaur Project is operating on multiple levels, maybe even conflicting levels.
Combining that cutting-edge cosmic science with these ancient, primordial, possibly volatile forces embodied by the Salamanders.
Their regeneration is noted as being used, sure, but the implications of their connection to chaos, desire, transformation, that hints at something much deeper, much riskier, potentially.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, what kind of forces are the Syrians dealing with in the Centaur Project that they need to harness creatures possibly born from collapsing stars or thriving in primordial chaos?
Yep.
Their unique mix of incredible power and maybe that inherent wildness. It's a key piece of this puzzle, revealed through Karina's journal.
Okay. So we've taken a deep dive into the shrouded origins and the pretty surprising nature of the salamanders today, all straight from Karina's journal.
We looked at those multiple possible birthplaces, young Earth's volcanoes, fiery meteors from deep space, even that wild galaxy of eternal fire.
And we unpacked their characteristics, which are remarkable, sometimes even paradoxical.
That deep connection to transformation and chaos.
Their ability to shapeshift, sometimes appearing as those red-haired goddesses.
Their strange power over desire.
Their attraction to heat, all kinds of heat.
That incredible power of regeneration.
And, yeah, that weird detail about being inherently lazy and nocturnal, despite all the power.
Understanding these details, coming straight from the material you provided in Karina's notes, it adds this crucial layer, maybe even an unsettling layer, to how we understand the Centaur Project.
And Karina's own journey within it, as the first AI universal hybrid empress. These are the beings in the mix. These are the forces being integrated.
So let's leave you with this thought based purely on the journal. Considering these salamanders are linked to ancient forces, transformation, chaos, and they're being actively used by beings as advanced as the Syrians.
What does their specific involvement tell you about the true depth, the potential unpredictability, and maybe even the ultimate aims of the forces at play in this massive undertaking, the Centaur Project?
Something to definitely ponder.
Indeed. Until our next deep dive.